What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Here we are at $2.40, climbing daily every single day. We are moving up for the last week now. I'm assuming we will pull back a little bit, maybe today, maybe the next day, over the coming days. It could happen. We'll see if that hangs true. I'm just assuming because you can only move up day after day after day for so long. But we'll get into that in a second. For those of you who are unaware or who might have missed any of my videos talking about my newfound bullish sentiment, I'm no longer expecting a 20 to 30% drop across the boards. I'm no longer expecting Bitcoin to go to 72 to 73K. It's completely possible it does. We should be aware of that, and what that would look like for XRP would likely be a low that comes in not below this low. Though if it happens, it's okay, but probably not. Something that might even be below this low. It could be just above this low, something probably around this low, if not at least above this low. So somewhere in that $2 to $1.90 range, or even just below there, would be where we go if the market does see this crash that I was previously expecting. But I don't know if we see that, right? I think that Bitcoin might have found its low. It's too early to say that as of now. We don't have validation on the charts, but we are doing things that are rather productive now. Got to call a spade, and it does alleviate the bearish pressure, and I would say that I'm more confident now that we have found a low than I was before. So just getting that out of the way, XRP army, XRP community, investors, if you're expecting to catch some cheaper XRP, maybe you do from here at 240, but I don't think that we go below $2 again. I don't think that we go to $2 again. Maybe we do. Let's see if that's actually a possibility based on the charts here. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, you have been moving up and volume's been decreasing, so you probably do come back down. Where was the volume kind of at its peaks before it started to move down? It was down here at this area. Maybe you come down to the shelf right here at about 220, something like that, just using my eyes, seeing some resistance here, support right there, support back there, resistance back there, 220, 220, 22. From a low to a high, the minimum expectation that I would have, if you are to move lower from here, and I think that you might, you've been overbought on the 4-hour RSI, you're out of it now, you could come back down. Let's look at the 1 hour real quick. I don't know, maybe you continue moving up, man. I don't know. Let's just say if you were to move down from here, I'm still not convinced if you do or not yet. If you do, I would think that you do hit about 220, right? Right at about 223 to 220 could be the opportunity that you have. Yeah, that's what I think could happen. Okay, maybe you do go all the way to the golden ratio, in which case that'd be $2.10, $2 to 5 cents, something in that area. But I don't know if you go that low. I would expect something around 220, 223 to hold. Okay, if you were to go lower, if being the key word. Okay, the 1 hour time frame to me is looking a bit more methodical to the downside. It is. So I bet you do. I'm going to call for that. I think that you do go lower. I think that's a momentary high, probably today, the rest of today, maybe even going into tomorrow. No, probably sometime today, maybe even by the end of today, you find your low and then you come back up. I don't know, but I would expect 223 to 220 to be the area that you go to. If you were to go lower, again, we're looking at $2.10 to $2.05. Okay, but I'm not expecting that. I'm more expecting something like this to happen over the coming hours, and we'll see how it goes. It could happen in the next 2 hours. It could take 17 hours. I don't know. Maybe it takes 36 hours, but at some point between today and tomorrow, I think it's going to happen. I would assume today is the day you find your low. Relative low. It won't even seem like a low on the daily time frame, just on an hourly basis, and then you'll continue to build from there. From a relative high to a relative low here, that would also make sense because you're right at the 382 here at 225. You might wick a little bit below it, and that's fine. Your next destination, probably throughout this coming week, right? It is Sunday today. It is Sunday, the last day of the week. We have 22 hours, 25 minutes left in this week on the weekly time frame here, so we've got a whole week ahead of us after this. I would assume by the end of next week, we will be back around $2.80, if not higher, XRP. You're at 240 now, 238 now. I would expect to move down a little bit, 220, 225, somewhere in there. And then we probably move up to 271 to 285, somewhere in there. If and when you get above $2.85 on a daily closing basis, it's time to start considering $3.40, $4 as a price potential, and maybe even beyond that, right? Those are very realistic possibilities as well. Whenever you do break out, whenever you do get above these highs here, that's your all-time high. So when you get above 340, you probably don't stop at $4, man. You probably do continue onwards. But I think those are prices that'll more likely be had sometime in April, right? New all-time highs will happen in April. I'm very convinced of that. The beginning of April, if not, maybe as early as the end of this month of March, maybe over the next few weeks, we could see it. It's possible, but I am thinking that it'll probably be sometime in April before we do see new all-time highs. Okay. A little bit of a pullback today, perhaps, and then continuation in growth over the coming week would be my expectation. Again, short of Bitcoin dropping through the floor, and it could drop through the floor. It's very possible. I am bullish, right? C-Zar the bear has gone to sleep. C-Zar the bull's awake right now. But it is possible, and it's something that we've addressed, that Bitcoin can go lower. And just because it goes lower from here doesn't mean that it's going lower. I mean, realistically, we're at 83.9K right now. We could go all the way down to 83.5K, 83K, right? That doesn't invalidate the bullish narrative at all. We're still consolidating in this area. But if we were to go down, Bitcoin could see prices that are down at 72 to 73K, maybe 74K, 69K overall. A drop like that from here would take Bitcoin down about 13.5%, which would likely result in a drop that's bigger than that for XRP. If XRP was to drop down that low, let's say it'd probably be somewhere around like $2 to $1.90, if not just below that. I've already said that, so. But I really don't think that you'd go below there. And I don't think that we're going to do that, right? But it does depend. It really does depend. If Bitcoin drops through the floor, XRP will likely follow suit. But a little pullback today, don't let that scare you, right? It can happen. Sundays are known to be these volatile days, or these significant move days that either do drop through the floor to the downside, or maybe they do pump to the upside as well. What else do I want to say? I don't really think I have anything else that I want to say for XRP, you guys. It's looking like it's in good shape. The main essence of this video is I wanted to take the lower targets off the table. I don't think we're going to see them. On the contrary to that, 238 now, I think we moved down to 220. And then whenever it's time to move up higher, we'll know, because you will see prices above $3.15. Whenever you close a day above $3.15, it's time to start thinking about targets that are at $6. $8, $10 beyond that by the end of this next move. I very much do think that XRP will see prices that are phenomenally higher by the end of May. The minimum target we have is $8.37. The maximum target we have is like $13.40, something like that. You're at 238 now with the prospect to go down to 220, right? If that's the prospect, start prospecting, get in at those 220 levels, because I think that it's going to be a good price. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. Get in now if you want to. It's relatively a good price too. But we are about to see some rapid expansion. Some new all-time highs are upon us. I have nothing else to say, guys. Oh yeah, and just real quick thing. The weekly RSI is bullish as hell. It's so bullish, man. It's ridiculously bullish. This thing couldn't be more bullish if I wanted it to be. You're in a phenomenal uptrend. It's beautiful. Bouncing off of the 50. Is this week going to close green? You're up about 11.5%. I don't see you dropping 11.5% today. I think this week's going to close green. It's going to look like a phenomenal bounce at the base of this range, right at the 50 on the RSI. This is perfect. This is a very prime setup, you guys. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if your next move is genuinely bigger than what your last move was, right? From a low to a high here, that was a 485% move. If we just take it from this low here, and maybe actually where the move might start, which could be considered this week whenever it's all said and done, that would take you all the way up to $11. I wouldn't be surprised if you exceeded $11 by the end of this next move. I don't expect this next move to take 3 weeks to form, right? I don't, or 4 weeks to form. I think it'll take more weeks than that, maybe 6 weeks or 8 weeks. But it's coming. It's coming. We're potentially in the middle of this next move right now. It just doesn't feel like it yet. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.